The more I use Google AI Studio, the more I'm impressed and the more relevant I realize it is to both language teachers and to language students. This is going to be a really practical session where I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with Google AI Studio in language learning. And the interesting thing is that because of the nature of the product and the fact it has various things, you can jump between them and generate dialogues and vocabulary lists and audio, etc. So it's the flexibility that all of these things are in one tool. And I think after I've shown you a few examples, you'll really start to see, wow, this is a one-stop shop that can really help me a lot. I really hope you like the video, and as always, if you do, please like it. Please share it, please comment on it, and of course join me on my YouTube channel. Love to have more people subscribed. Let's get started. So obviously you do need to have a Google account, and I want you to click on Google AI Studio. Just write Google AI Studio into Google to search for it, click on it, and you'll come in to this screen here. This video is all about language learning, but I do want to just quickly point out one feature because this is incredible. If you click over here and you have something called share screen, and what you can do is you can open up any piece of software and then you can share the screen so that Google AI Studio can see that piece of software, and then you can get Google AI Studio to teach you how to use it. It will speak to you and it will tell you what to do. And if you want to watch some examples of me doing that, I'm going to put a video on the screen now where I focus on the amazing screen share option in Google AI Studio. This video is going to concentrate on language learning. I want to carefully explain a few things before we start generating content, because this way it will help you to understand why we can use this one tool to generate so many things. You've got a few really interesting buttons. The first one here is the chat, and that is that you can basically write some instructions to Google AI Studio and it will generate all sorts of things, as we will see in a minute. If you click on this button, you have the option to actually talk to Google AI Studio, and I'll demonstrate that as well because it's very powerful. And of course we've got that brilliant share screen button. But if we click on this button, we have the option to generate content, including, for example, audio. Now if you think about it straight away, you could be asking the chat to generate some text for you in any language, so it works in multiple languages. Copy that text, come over to this tool, click on the audio generation and turn that into a dialogue or a podcast or some kind of audio that you could then listen to and read at the same time. And of course, you're not jumping into different technologies. You're doing all of this in one place. Now, those of you that follow my channel will know that I've been a language teacher for about nearly 40 years, but I've also learnt to speak Spanish, French, and I'm now studying Polish. So what we'll do is we'll do an example in Spanish, okay, just to show you also that it works in multiple languages. I'm going to click on the chat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the chat to generate a text for me in Spanish. So let me just turn off the video while I write in the instructions. So I've asked for a text in Spanish, a pre-intermediate level. I want it to be about 5 interesting villages to visit in Andalusia, and I want the text to be about 300 words long. I'm going to click on that button there, and I'm hoping it's going to make that text for me, and it's done it, and it's done an excellent job. And I asked for this particularly because I know Andalusia very well, and in fact I know all of those villages, so it's done a great job there. I'm going to copy that text now, and this is where it's going to get interesting. Okay, so in fact I'll copy all the way down to the bottom there. Okay, I could have copied the first part actually if I wanted as well, but I'm just going to go with this. Now this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to come over now to the generate media, and I'm going to click here on the Gemini speech tool. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose single speaker audio. I'm just going to paste in that text, and now I'm going to run. Now what it should, in most cases, it actually just automatically picks up that it's in Spanish. So let's just run it and see whether it does that. It certainly worked this way when I've tried it out in Polish. So let's just run it, and it will take a few seconds. It's all done. And what I can do here is, and just want to point this out, Of course, you can download this audio, which is super important, of course, but we can also click on the playback speed and set it to be a bit slower if we want. Okay, so I'm going to set it to 0.75. I'm just going to play a little bit.
Ronda es impresionante. Está construida sobre un desfiladero profundo. Puedes ver el famoso Puente Nuevo.
Okay, that's just a taster. I promise you I'm going to take this a lot further, but it gives you an indication of just how powerful the combination of the different tools are that exist inside Google AI Studio. Okay, I promise you that's only a starter. Hope you're liking the video, and remember, if you are, please like it because it has a massive impact on how many people will see the video. What I want to do now is take this a little bit further. Some of you might feel, well, it's a bit limited in terms of the number of voices, or maybe you might discover that in the language you're trying to learn, Google Gemini doesn't work. If that's the case, watch the video that's on the screen now. I'll put a link to it. In that video, I highlight 2 other audio tools where you can just paste in text and where you have masses of different voices and different accents. So you've got Spanish from Mexico, from Guatemala, from Spain, etc. What I'm going to do now is take the whole process a lot further and show you how we could even sort of use this to generate dialogues, but also to generate the vocabulary list that we might want to work with and then bring them into tools like Quizlet. So we're going to kind of work with the same ideas now, but just take the whole process to another level. So of course, make sure to download that audio and to copy that text and to put it into a Word file or something like that if you really want to work with it, or if you're going to do some more activities. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to work in a slightly different way now. So I've shown you here that we can kind of give instructions, and really what we're doing is we're talking to Google Gemini here, but I'm going to go the way that I really like to work. And I think what would be interesting now is for me to work in another language. I'm going to give the instructions in English to get it to produce something for me in French. But remember, you can give the instructions in other languages as well. So I'm going to click here, and this is the way I really like to work with Gemini. Can you produce for me a text in French? I want it to be at intermediate level of French, where 2 people are discussing the future of AI and how it might impact on education. And can we make the dialogue about maybe just a maximum of 200 words? Is that okay?
Oui, bien sûr. Un court dialogue en français entre 2 personnes parlant de l'IA et...
Okay, so it's done a good job of that, which we can play back here actually, and from here we can download the audio, but this is not a dialogue. This is only one person reading this out. But what happens if we copy this? Okay, I'm going to copy this full text here, okay? And then we're going to come over to our audio tool, which we've already used once, but this time we're going to click on multi-speaker. And over here on the left hand side, just delete whatever's on the screen now, delete that, and paste in your dialogue. Okay, now it will work out the speakers. So if we now click on run, and it will take a few seconds, it will generate the audio, but as a dialogue between 2 people. But not only that, we'll be able to download that as well. So let's just wait a minute. Okay, so it's ready. Okay, and I'm going to just click here.
Tu penses que l'intelligence artificielle va changer l'éducation pour de bon?
Absolument. Les profs pourraient se concentrer plus sur les élèves individuellement et l'IA pourrait faire les tâches répétitives.
Now, of course, you can copy that text, okay, from various places now because you've copied it in various places, but you can also download it, okay, and notice that you can also control the playback speed. Now I'm going to move on now and show you some more really interesting ideas around studying vocabulary, but I think that that's a fabulous idea. And if I think back to how I learned French and Spanish and the money that I spent, particularly on CD-ROMs and cassettes and books with the audio so that I could listen and read, it's incredible now to think that I can generate this content all on one technology, get the scripts written, get the audio produced, download it and study it. It's absolutely fabulous. Don't forget, if you want more free videos, then please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com because there's loads of videos there. There's a special section on languages for students. And if you're a teacher think about joining the newsletter, which has now got more than 10,000 subscribers on it, because I update you on all the latest videos, but I also update you on many free webinars that we give on language learning using technology. And at the moment, if you sign up, there's also a 14-part mini video course where I highlight some of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel. And basically everything I'm going to show you is free. There really are very few paid tools. Literally everything I cover is free. Let's move on then and take this idea yet even further. So remember, when you ask it to generate a text for you, and I'm going to get it to write a text for me in English, you can also get it to generate alongside that text a list of vocabulary, some multiple choice questions, some true or false questions, a gap fill activity, a list of interesting collocations, all sorts of things. You can ask it for the dialogue or for a text, but you can also extend that and do a lot more. Let's try and give this a simple example. So what I'm going to do is, remember, you can either write the prompt in here, that will work, or you can click on this button and you can kind of talk to it, okay? But what I'll do is I'm just going to write out a prompt and let's see if it works. So I've said, I'm Spanish and I'm learning English. Can you write a short history of the city of Winchester in the south of England? Can you write the text? I better put a question mark. Can you write the text for a student of intermediate level in English? Question mark. Can you also generate a list of useful phrases? So what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to get the system not only to generate for me the text, but also some useful phrases from the text, and I'm also stipulating how long I want it to be. So let's click on the button and see what happens, and off it goes. It's going to write me a short history of Winchester, and it's going to give me those phrases. Now I'm just going to say to this, can you, and this is really important, can you add those phrases into a vertical table with column 1 the word, and column, and there's a real reason I'm doing this and you'll see in a minute, column 2 the definition. Okay, and I'm just going to press enter, and I'm hoping it's going to do that for me. So press run, apologies, and hopefully it's going to do that, and it's going to do that for me now. Now why am I doing this? Well, watch this. I'm going to copy those phrases, and now I'm going to come over to a free technology for studying vocabulary, which I use a lot. It's called Quizlet. You can obviously pay for Quizlet and get more features, but in the basic tool of Quizlet, if I come over here and I'm going to click on, I've obviously got an account already, I'm going to click on plus, I'm going to create a new set of flashcards, I'm going to generate from upload. And then, I'm sorry, actually I don't want to generate from upload, sorry, I want to actually, let me do that again, so apologies. Going to generate a set of flashcards, create them myself, and then close that down. I'm going to click on this button here, import, I'm going to paste those words in, and I'm going to click on import, and now what I've got is the words, and then obviously on the other side, the definition. And now what I need to do is give it a title. So I'm going to say words from Winchester text. And I don't need to put in a description. And now I'm going to click on create. Now, one interesting thing, when you do this, watch this. If you now will click on flashcards, and we're going to click over here, and we're going to choose in this little button here, we're going to come down, we want to turn one thing on. And that is, we want text to speech on. Now you can start with either the definition or start with the term. So I could start with the definition first, and there's lots of ways you could use this.
Used to talk about the distant past.
Long ago.
Long ago.
Next one.
To come to a place.
To arrive.
Arrived in.
Okay, right. Next one.
Battle to gain power over something.
Control.
Fought for control.
Okay, but you get the idea that I can use these tools to help me to study the vocabulary from a text. Perhaps I would then go back and read the text again. Okay, so we have actually used another tool now because we've used Quizlet, but you can see how working with the AI Studio we can build so much of the content around some learning material. If you want to learn more about Quizlet, I'll put a video on the screen now and you can click on watch that video. It's going to take you through Quizlet. It's going to show you how to use the free tool and lots more features, Quizlet's a really useful tool. You can use it for not only definitions and words, but translations or beginning of the phrase, end of the phrase, etc. And there are multiple games that you can play in Quizlet. I'm going to leave you with one final video on the screen that you can watch. This is perhaps my most popular recent video. I think it's been played about 100,000 times now. It's all about the magic button in Google Translate. And if you don't know about it, watch this video that's on the screen now. Really hope you liked the video, and if you did, of course, remember that please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course join me on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Okay, really hope you liked the video, and if you do, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. There's hundreds more videos on the website. There's a really popular section on teaching and using AI. I specialize in making videos to help language teachers use technology. If you want to sign up to the newsletter, then that way you can keep up with all the latest videos, the free webinars that we run, the courses that we run, etc. And at the moment, if you sign up to the newsletter, there is a special 14-part free course that you'll be sent. You'll be sent a video about every 3 or 4 days that really just focuses on the most popular technologies on my YouTube channel that teachers have reacted to, and that really builds up into a really nice course and gives you a strong basis in using technology in language teaching. It's completely free, and literally everything that I show you is a free technology. If you'd like to have live training with me, then think about joining me on Patreon. On Patreon, for $6 a month, you get 3 free videos from me each month without any advertisements in them. But the important thing is those videos are connected to a monthly webinar that we have where we meet live. And we normally work with the technology that we focused on that month, or sometimes it's 2 technologies, and we do activities and really learn to use those technologies well, so that then you can try those out in class or online with your students. The other interesting thing about joining me on Patreon is that actually you get access to all of the backdated material. So there's over a year of videos and live training. This training is very practical with lots and lots of ideas about things that you can do in the class or online with your students teaching languages. So it's much more practical than the YouTube videos, and you get that as part of the $6 a month. Okay, I'm going to leave some more videos on the screen that I think you might find useful.